All those things that you're worried about, they don't really matter. My name is Jillian. I'm 26 years old and I work as a research assistant in a metabolic disease lab. I grew up in Singapore, but when I was 10, I moved with my family to New Zealand, and that's where we stayed. For university, I went to Australia, and after that, I moved back to Singapore. Opus Dei is Latin, and it translates to work of God. And it was founded by a priest, St Josemaria in Spain, all the way in 1928. His message that he tried to spread throughout the world and is even reached all the way from Spain to Singapore is that we can be holy, just ordinary people like you and I, in our everyday activities. We don't have to be in church 24/7, and we don't have to be on our knees praying the rosary all the time. But yeah, even in the little things, we can really love the world and love everything that's in there and love God through that. Actually, I wasn't born a Catholic. I grew up in a Christian family, and we went to church most weeks growing up. I was looking for a church to go to regularly, but it just didn't fit. I couldn't find one that seemed to meet my requirements. The church that I ended up becoming Catholic in was a church that was run by priests of Opus Dei. So one of my close friends from the church that I went to, she became a member of Opus Dei. And so she started telling me all this stuff about this life change, and it was really interesting. I really saw the effort and all the benefits that also came in her life through that commitment. She invited me to try going to the center in Singapore. That's how it started. I just went to the center, which is a house that we hold activities in. Things like doctrine classes or talks about the virtues, talks about how to live a better life and be a better Christian. And I just loved it so much. I just kept on going and going. I went every week. As I went to the center more and more, I really saw from the people around me how holy they were, how full of joy and how full of Christ's love they were. And I wanted to be like them too. After going to the center more and more, I started to feel like I really wanted to give my life for this whole message. And one of the things that I was asking God in my prayer was, how? So, how, if you want me to be a part of this, be a part of Opus Dei, how do you want me to serve you? How do you want me to love you? After praying a lot, really asking God to show me His will, I decided to join Opus Dei as an associate member. I realized that He just wanted me to love Him first, and to give up marriage and instead love my friends, to give my heart more widely to the people around me instead of just to one person, but to really love like Jesus loved to everybody. Actually, I was really nervous to tell my parents. I didn't know how they would react at all. I was really surprised that my dad was super supportive, and he said, many people go on different paths of life, and if this is what you think will make you happy, then I support you in it. For my mom, it was a little bit more difficult. I think she already saw that I was going to the center so much. I was going to church every day like a crazy person, waking up so early. So it wasn't so much of a surprise, but she still felt a little bit concerned that making such a decision at a young age would be something that I would regret later. But over time, I think my mom saw how living this lifestyle that I live now is really something that's full of meaning and has made me a better person. For my friends, when I told my friends about my decision, they were really surprised. I think for them, they haven't met somebody who has decided to go down this path and to make a permanent decision. They were really sweet. They're all concerned that I wouldn't be happy, and they wanted happiness for me. After assuring my friends that this path was one that I took precisely because I discerned that it would make me the happiest. Then they seemed to understand better. I work as a research assistant. The main project that I help with is about liver cancer. And the thing with experiments and being in the lab is that it can be really repetitive. I think for me it was difficult at first to adapt to it. Even though I like doing the experiments, it's super fun. But sometimes when you're doing the same thing over and over again, it just gets a little bit mundane. But actually I realized with the help of Opus Dei that these are precisely moments that I can spend that quality time with Jesus. Yeah, so in the afternoon where I'm really not feeling like it, God is there, and it's an opportunity for me to be loved even more and to experience God's love again, remembering that I'm a daughter of God. When I look back at how I used to be, I realize, oh my gosh, I was so bad. So now I do little things for other people to try to care for them a little bit more, like greeting the security uncle before I enter the office at work, or staying for a few minutes more before I leave to talk to my grandmother because she won't talk to anybody else the rest of the day. Picking up a piece of trash that isn't mine so that other people have a nice environment, and also cleaning up after myself so someone else doesn't do it for me. It's more than a community. Opus Dei is my family. I'm really surprised every time that I meet somebody from overseas. I've never met them before, or maybe they're a lot older than me, but instantly I feel like we've known each other for ages. Of course, there have been so many people in my life that I'm so grateful for. Yeah, from my youth leaders at church, my classmates, my friend that I mentioned before, priests, and just so many good friends. I don't know where I would be without them, without those one-on-one chats, those coffees, those video calls, those random hangouts. I got so much from them, and I grew closer to God because of those relationships. I really hope that I can also be just like that, to be that light and that inspiration to other people also. My life before Opus Dei and my life after Opus Dei is actually exactly the same. I think what changed was the way that I see things. Instead of everything being plain and normal, life is now full of sparkles. That's the way I see it. I'm really so grateful that I can realize that God is with me all the time, really all the time, at every moment, every single minute. And that's something that I think has changed my life. I would say, hey Jillian, all those things that you're worried about, they don't really matter. All that anxiety, worry, thinking about whether I'm good enough and what other people think of me, they don't really matter in the end. Just by trusting God a little bit more, by thinking of myself a little bit less, and trying to help the people around me, that everything is good and life is beautiful. That's such a blessing. And God is in everything. God is in every person that you meet and in every situation. That's something that no one can take away from us.